How's it going, everybody? Midwest Pyrotechnics here with another video. Today we're going to be talking about the ATF Explosives License, what you need for 1.3 fireworks, the one everybody's been waiting for. So we're going to talk a little bit about general information, how to get it, and just the process that you'll go through. I've had a lot of people request that I talk about this topic and people wondering how they can get their license and that they want to start getting display fireworks for their shows. So we're gonna dive into this a little bit. We're not gonna go super in detail. We'll save that for another video, but for now we're gonna go ahead and give a good brief overview of what you can expect. So it is the Type 54, the ATF General Explosive License. You guys, to find that, just look that up, ATF Type 54, and you can find the application online. Pretty easy to get. Um, so yeah, like I said, it's easy to obtain and it does last for 3 years and is a $50 renewal fee after every time you renew it. And it does cost $100 to start. So, requirements: you must be 21, you cannot have any felony convictions, you've got to have a good background, and you're going to have to submit an FD 258 fingerprint card filled out by local law enforcement. So, you can go on Amazon and look up the FD 258. It's just a little card that has all the info about who you are, and then your fingerprints will go on that. And you can take that to a police station or a sheriff's department or jail, and they can fill that out for you. You're also going to need to include a 2x2 passport sized photo. You can get those taken at a Walgreens. It's got to have a plain background, like a white or a gray. It's just so the ATF can positively identify you and that you're not someone else trying to get somebody else a license using their name. So uh, it also, like I said, it costs $100, and then there'll be a section in the application where you can put in your credit card information, and they'll just charge it to your credit card. Pretty easy, and it's not too bad. So the actual process. So you've gotten all this information. You got online. You got the application. You filled it out, and you're ready to send it in. You've got it submitted. You say you went ahead and submitted it. Got everything in there. Shortly after, you will receive a call from an ATF agent, and he's just going to ask a few questions, and basically he's going to set up a time for him to come meet at your house for an interview. Um, so yes, they will come to your home, and they're going to ask why you want the license, and you're going to tell them I'm a hobbyist and I just want it to um, explore more about display fireworks and shoot them in your own personal shows. And maybe you want to work for a company someday. Getting this license will be handy because you're already going to have it. Gets it out of the way, and it'll just be something you can always have on your resume as well. Just something good to have. And it takes about 3 months, give or take. Mine took a little shorter. It just depends on the time of year. You guys want to get these in as soon as possible. It is January. It's almost February. You guys want to get these licenses submitted and get these taken care of, so that way you'll have your license by the time 4th of July rolls around. You want to get some big stuff. You want to compete with your neighbors. You want to show everybody up. You're going to want this license so you can do that. So when you receive your license, you never sign the original copy. They're going to send you an envelope. It's going to have I believe 2 or 3 pages, or maybe more. And one of them is your actual license. The other is like a letterhead and just has some other general information. So as soon as you get that, make copies of all that stuff. Make copies of your license. Never sign the original. You can sign your copies, but never sign the original. So once you signed your copies, you're going to want to keep one at home with your records. You're going to want to keep one copy in the vehicle or whatever you're going to use to transport fireworks. Always have that with you or in your vehicle or anytime. I actually scanned my license, and I have a scanned copy on my phone and my computer, so if I ever needed to print it off, I can always do that. That's always a good thing to have. Have it on a jump drive. Scan it, upload it. It's good to have. And then you're going to want to start a binder to keep all that paperwork and the receipts in, and then you'll put one copy with that paperwork. So that brings us to records. So you've got your license and you've made your first purchase. So you're going to want to keep all receipts and all records that they give you from your distributor. So when the ATF comes to check, they can see what you've purchased, and you will put the day you shot it, which if you're using contingency, it has to be the day of, or at least within 24 hours. But we'll talk about that in a minute. But they want to make sure your dates match up and that you haven't, screwed with the books or pencil whipped something in there. They want to make sure everything matches what the distributor, because the distributor has a copy that they sold those to you, and then you have a copy saying you bought it. Because they'll check the distributor, and they'll say, oh, well, this guy bought, a case of 3-inch shells, so I'm going to check his records and see if they match up. They better match up, or you're going to have some problems. You may lose your license. You could get in trouble. Always make sure everything matches up, and you keep your records for at least 5 years. So you also want to keep that storage plan in your binder as well for your records. So moving on to storage. So if you've got your license and you want to get a magazine to display fireworks at your house or at your property, you're going to need to get a magazine. You're going to have to get it registered by the ATF. They'll come out, approve it, and there's a lot more info about that. I'm not going to talk about magazines right now because that's a whole nother video. Um, but if you don't have a magazine, or you don't have the room, or you don't have the money, you can get the contingency storage plan. So a lot of distributors offer that, like Ace Pyro, Lynch Imports, all these other distributors. They offer contingency storage. You just have to call and ask them about it. They'll help you get it all set up. It basically states that if you buy fireworks from them and you get rained out or you had leftovers, that you will return them within 24 hours and they'll go back into a magazine. So that's basically all that's saying. But if that ever does, just don't leave any leftovers around. Shoot them off, get them out of there. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about driving them back. Just shoot them off. Now, if you have a magazine, you just throw them back in. If you have a magazine, you just log that shell back in the magazine, or log whatever. You have to keep track of everything. They really want to see it. So that's storage. So don't ever leave pyro laying around for people to take. Just keep it in a safe spot or return it. So, state laws and permits. So most states do require a permit to shoot 1.3 fireworks in a display, private or not. Now that can be kind of a hiccup for some people because they think, well, I didn't know that, nobody told me that. Now I've got this license and I can't shoot fireworks. Well, this is kind of a gray area. You may disagree or agree with me. But from what I've looked up and researched, the ATF doesn't really care much about your permits. They just want to make sure you're following ATF rules and you're following federal law. Now, the states, they're the ones that enforce the permits, and it's really going to be up to local law enforcement to enforce it. State fire marshals can, but really the feds, they don't want to waste their time with checking to see if you have permits. They might, and I don't know if they can or they can't, but they might. Most likely they won't. So it's really up to you if you want to shoot without a permit on your own private property. I would venture out to say 9% of the time you're going to be fine doing that. But just keep in mind, if you're shooting without insurance and you're shooting without a permit, if something does go down and something happens, it's on you. You're responsible for any accidents. So if someone wanted to sue you because they got hurt, that's on you. So that's basically, it's shoot at your own risk kind of thing if you're doing it without a permit or insurance. And then some states also do require extra licenses and certificates. Illinois is kind of one of them. I don't know of any other states that do it, but I'm sure there's others. I don't know why Illinois is like that. They're just a bunch of idiots over there. So if you live in Illinois, you get the ATF license, you're going to be good as far as the feds care. Now, the state, if you got in trouble, yeah, it could be a problem, but I think if you're pretty safe about it, and you need to if you're in Illinois, you need to get the permit, but just don't put it off forever. If it's just a couple months go by, and you're probably fine. But if you put it off, 3 years, and it may end up coming back to bite you. So you just want to make sure you get any extra permits you need to get from your state. Get that stuff done. It sucks, but um, it's just part of it, and it's worth it in the end when you get all that stuff taken care of. It is worth it in the end. I do want to bring up Kentucky real quick. If you live in Kentucky, you got the jackpot because all you need is the ATF license, and you don't even need a state permit when you want to shoot a private show in your own private property. You don't need anything. All you need is the ATF license. You don't even legally need insurance. So, um, if you guys want to shoot 1.3 on your own private property and you live in Kentucky, or you have a friend that lives in Kentucky, hook up with them and shoot all you want down there without having to worry about it. I mean, you can shoot up as big as shells as you want. Now, that's what I've been told. I don't know how true that is. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's how it is in Kentucky. If anyone lives there and they know differently, leave me a comment and we'll talk about it. But that's what I know and that's what I've been told. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. This is just all my personal knowledge I've been able to gain. I think most of it's pretty spot on, but some of it I may be off on a little bit. So just remember that. Now, transport. So when you go to buy your fireworks and you're ready to ship them home, get them home, you do not need a CDL or any special license to drive with fireworks. If it's for your personal non-commerce use, meaning you have a backyard display that you want a couple cases of threes and some fives or something like that, you don't need the CDL. You don't need hazmat. Now, for a city, big shows that it's considered commerce, got to have the CDL. I don't know why it's like that, but for you guys that are hobbyists, you do not need the CDL. You can just ship them in the back of your pickup. No problems there. Just keep your license with you. Training. The ATF, they don't care if you know everything about fireworks or you know nothing about fireworks. They are there to give you your license, and you don't have to take a test. You don't need to know anything. Now, it's good to brush up on safety and stuff before you start shooting big stuff. I would recommend watching some videos and just talk to some people. Um, Maybe if you have some friends that have ATF license, you can even leave me comments if you have questions or anything. Always shoot me an email. And I plan on doing a video about safety here soon, so you guys can be looking out for that. But they don't care. They don't test you. You don't have to take any sort of test. Um, just some other basic info. Never leave fireworks out, unattended, sitting out where someone could just take them, because you don't want to have to deal with a theft. That would just be terrible. I don't even want to think about what if they got stolen, what you'd have to go through to report that. But always make sure, you actually legally have to keep them in your possession until you shoot them off. So whenever you take them to the shoot site, when they leave the magazine, when they leave the distributor, you've got to babysit those fireworks until you're shooting them off and they're all gone. Then you're fine. But never leave them unattended. And a huge one, huge thing right here, never sell fireworks to someone without a license. If you get caught doing that, you can get in a world of trouble. It's not worth it. People without licenses, don't be that guy and hound someone that has a license. It's not worth it. I know they may offer you like top dollar for shells because they can't get them. No matter how much they offer you guys, just don't do it. Don't be tempted with it. It's not worth going to jail or losing your license for. It's not. My Fireworks Distributor. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys who I use and some of their products. So this is their website, Wayne's World Fireworks, and you can pull up their consumer fireworks and their professional fireworks, and we'll go ahead and show you their catalog. I already have it pulled up here. Let's start at the top. I've just been kind of looking through it. So this is their catalog, and someone asked if there's a size limit. No, you can buy up to 16-inch shells. That's just as big as they pretty much make them, at least for these guys. I know they go up to 24, but you're going to have a lot of money to buy a 24-inch shell. These are like 600 and 700 bucks, so Just gonna say that right now. Let's go down to, all right, so here is all their cakes and stuff like that. I mean, you guys can go on this website and look. Um, they've got all kinds of cool stuff, but I'm going to show you. A lot of people ask about price, so I'm going to go ahead and show you that real quick. For the case of GD25A, the ones I usually get that are my 2.5-inch display shells, you get 120 plus 20 salutes for 175 bucks. That's pretty dang good. So if you know a little bit about how much consumer costs, you can see that I'm getting these at least as cheap or cheaper than consumer. Here's some 3-inch display shells. Usually get about 72 shells in a case, and that's 149. It says 36 too, so that's a total of 72 shells in a case. So I'm just going to kind of tell you a little bit about the pricing. Here's a case of 4-inch shells. It's 150 bucks for a case of 4s, 36 shells. That's pretty good. 4-inch shells are pretty wicked. So that's just a kind of how much it's going to cost. Now, not all places are going to be as cheap as Wayne's World. I've found that they're probably about the cheapest. But if you guys want to know more about where you can get them, just Google it. I'm not sure how it may be in Florida or Arizona. I don't know about those other states, guys. I'm in the Midwest, as you know. But if you always have questions, just ask me. I can help you out. A little bit about the channel before we sign off here. I've got a TikTok page going. My friend Mason, he likes to do the TikTok stuff, so he's doing that for me. He also he's my cameraman sometimes. He'll come out there and film for me, so I don't have to juggle holding the camera and lighting and loading shells when we're doing demos. So he's always there for me, and he's doing that. I've got a Patreon set up now, so you guys can go on there, and usually the links are in the video. I'll always put it in the description. You guys can click on there. There's extra content. There's stuff on there that you guys can't find on my main channel, on my YouTube channel. So I urge you guys to subscribe to that. I take any sort of donations that I can, and it's all going to go back into the channel so I can make better videos. So just want to bring that up. But like always, guys, if you have any questions or comments, just drop them below. I'll answer them. You can always shoot me an email. You guys always make it worthwhile reading those emails. So it's a lot of fun to do that. And hope you guys can subscribe and give me a thumbs up here. I hope I answered any questions you guys might have, and hopefully we'll have a more in-depth version on the application process, and we'll go in detail on how to fill that out and how to check each box and make sure you've got everything situated and ready to go. But this is just a basic overview of it, just to kind of get you guys familiar with what you're getting into. Because, I mean, some people may say it's easier than others. Some people say, oh, it's just super easy. There's a little bit to it, but in general, it's pretty easy. So hope that answered anyone's questions. And if you guys, like I said, have any comments, drop them below. And we will see you out there on another video. And we'll bring you guys some more content in the future. I got some cool stuff coming up. So I hope you guys can stick around for that. And please subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you out there.